welcome back. In the last video we talked about how to link behavior changes and business results, which is a key element in the chain of what we do and how it makes a business impact. Now we're going to focus on predictability and complexity. A fully predictable system would probably be a dead system when we're talking about the system of human beings. We want predictability in the short term. We do want to be able to deliver next week what we decided this week. And maybe we even want to deliver next quarter what we decided this quarter. But we also want to be ready this quarter to notice something, change our plan, and deliver something different next quarter. Depending on the volatility of your business environment, this might be more or less important to you, but as the context of this is agile coaching, potentially, or coaching change in organization, we probably want to be ready for some more change than just what we fear, expect, or plan. We want to build our organization to be ready to surprise and also be ready to be surprised. This is more than just resilience. Nassim Taleb calls this anti-fragility, which is a kind of difficult to understand term. I prefer surprisability. Build an organization that grows from surprises and is able to surprise your competition, your users, yourself. An example. People often talk about complexity or the uncertainty and all the difficult changes in the world as a wave and recommend a strategy which is like surfing that wave. So instead of being overwhelmed by the wave, you surf it and you get ready for the next wave and for the next wave. To be more ambitious, or I would like us to be more ambitious, our clients to be more ambitious. Let's think about making waves. Being the ones who create the change, not the ones who just work with the change that's happening. So, how to move that from philosophizing to actual practice. One thing that's really hard and that needs to be more integrated in our strategy is embracing ambiguity. When the world is ambiguous, we need to be ambiguous in our strategy. We need to create contradicting experiments. If we have a hypothesis and falsifying or validating the hypothesis will take months and we have only weeks to start moving, we need to do both. We need to run two things in parallel. Set-based design is what that was called in Lean. It's not a new idea. It's unfortunately or surprisingly not very common. It contradicts the utilization optimization mantra that most organizations run with. If you want a predictable organization, focus on utilization. If you want an innovative organization, if you want a resilient, a surprisable organization, focus on ambiguity, focus on effective change, focus on impact. And as long as you don't know the impact, you need to focus on learning. So one key strategy in dealing with uncertainty, creating ambiguity is lead by asking questions. Find good questions that you want answers to next week, next month, next quarter, next year. And align everybody in your organization and in parts of the organization to contribute to these answers. Don't make it questions where you can have a good answer tomorrow. Make those questions which need actual collaboration, actual experimentation, actual learning. And mostly these questions turn out to be questions that you will never get the perfect answer to. Like, what's the right product to build is a question that you will never find a perfect answer to. And it will always drive you towards new learning and new discovery. And that's important. Use complexity to your advantage. Use indicators and not targets. So in this plan that you're creating, in this strategic awareness frame that you're creating, in your making sense of progress, scaffolding, use indicators. Don't focus on one goal, on one target. Don't make it a linear thing. Gojko Adzic frequently says that a roadmap is not something that looks like a tunnel with one exit at the end. A roadmap is a map of lots of roads where most of them will not be taken, but they're all options. And it's important to know these options to actually find your way if things change. And indicators in the plan are good technique to do that. I will share an example of what such a plan can look like in the additional material. Good plans have variability, survivability, and selection, something that Harvard says. So we want to account for variability, for change. We want to make sure that everything we do in the plan is survivable. And this is, again, the most counterintuitive and the most important one, we want to select things that work. You remember what I said about strategic awareness and about deciding before you finish a task how its impact is going to be measured. If a thing we do does not have the desired impact, undo it. Remove the feature, remove the code that you added to the program. Stop the experiment. Pull out of a market that you can't succeed in, whatever it is, but select the things that work and judge the overall success of your strategy by how much selection happens. If everything you do is about success, you're not trying hard enough. If nothing you try works, that's problematic. You want about half of the things you do to be successful. That's where Amazon is, and they're supposed to be a strategically extremely successful company. So I've heard. Predictable is not good enough. That's my main message in this video. And if you as a coach can move your client from predictable to surprisable, from being afraid of waves to surfing waves to making waves, then you make an impact right there where they can see it, where they can feel it, and where you can get good confidence and courage for actually having made a not only significant, but a meaningful difference. And this is where I would like you to get to. That's the purpose of this whole series of videos. To give you an outlook and a sense of where we are, next we're going to talk about size of success. Then we're talking about which part of the success is actually your contribution. And then we are rounding it up with the probably most important question for you personally as a coach. How can you grow your courage to ask for more money? Thank you very much.